Welcome to a demo of Handheld Contact on the iPhone. Handheld Contact is a separate application that syncs your Act data, your contacts, calendar, and task list to your iPhone. It is a separate application so that it can be used on and offline. When you open Handheld Contact, you have your menu with your basic contacts, task list, calendar, but then we've also added favorites, searches, and some import features. In Handheld Contact, you can sync any of your standard fields in Act and up to 50 custom fields. If I go to all my contacts, you can see that I have the first, last, company name, as well as city on the right-hand side. So the three fields here are standard. The fourth field, you can choose any of the fields that you synchronize, your standard or custom fields to display. And then you can also sort by those fields. You can sort by city, company, last name, and first name. Before we start on the demo of the application, I will show you some of the setup features. In Handheld Contact, you synchronize your contacts, and here this is where you choose your additional field. So these are all the fields that you've chosen to synchronize. I will leave it at city for now. You can also set your sort here, or you can set it on the main screen of your contacts. The other thing you can do is you can export your contacts to your native address book for caller ID. And once you've done the initial sync, any time after that, you can just update your exported contacts so that you don't have to synchronize them all over again. If you want to delete your Act contacts, your Handheld Contacts from your native application, you just click right here. And if you want to clean up your native application, your contacts, and delete all your contacts and strictly put your Act contacts in, you can do that as well. The next thing is task list. Task list you can filter. You can see yours only. So we have the ability in Handheld Contact to synchronize your activities, or you can also choose to sync one or two or all of your colleagues' activities as well. And then you can filter on the task list. If I go to calendar, we have a few more options. One, you can filter by activity type all the way through. So if you don't want some of these syncing, you can take them off. You can also show you're cleared, or you can not show you're cleared. But the main thing is at the bottom of the screen where it says all users. Here, all the users you have in Act will be listed that you can choose whose activities you see. So let's say you're arranging a follow-up for one person designer. You can choose to filter just for designers activities and then schedule a follow-up for them in Act. So you can see everybody's, or one person, or your own. The other thing we can do is hit scheduling preferences. Well, first of all, I'll show you history. In history, we automatically save any calls, emails, or texts that you send out of Handheld Contact. Automatically create a history in Act for that contact that you're calling. You can choose to save the body of the text as well. Some people say, I don't want every text I send from Handheld Contact, the text itself to be in, just the history. So then you can just take that off, and now the messages will not be included, just the history that one was sent. Or you can include your text message in your history as well. In scheduling preferences, many times in Act, you can set it up so that you have a scheduling preferences. So every time, let's say 90% of your follow-ups or calls or activities, you can change them. So that is your default. I will leave mine at calls. And then you can set priorities. We'll put that to low. And you can ring alarm. We'll change this to 10 minutes ahead of time. And we'll change the duration to 10 minutes. So now every time I schedule a new activity in Handheld Contact, these will be my defaults. We also have notifications, so that if you want to use your iPhone notifications, same as your Handheld Contact, you just leave that on. If you don't want your alarms going off from Handheld Contact, you just turn the notifications off. In the mapping feature, we can have you choose whether you want Apple or Google Maps as your default. So now let's take a look at the contacts. So here I have all my contacts in Act. I'm syncing 992 with this test database. I will just open up, I will search for Nelson. It's Alice Nelson that I'm looking for. So here's my contact. As you can see, there's no empty fields displayed here, but if I hit the edit button, these are all the additional fields that we're syncing. So you can add information here. If you add information, it will automatically update to your native address book, or sorry, to your database back in ACT. For each contact, you can also see what activities you have scheduled with them, any notes or histories, and you can add them here as well. The other thing we have is when you click on the address, you have a choice of just a regular map, directions using my record, or directions using my location. The other thing is for each of these activities, notes, and histories, you can add them right here as well. You don't have to go to the calendar to add an activity, so it's very similar to what we have in ACT. And the other thing I want to show you is any of the data fields in Handheld Contact, whether it's regarding or details, you can use your voice to text as well. Schedule meeting to show new product line. And then also in the details it helps if I hit the mic button first, was interested in our 2017 lineup. So it says yours instead of ours. I better stop recording, otherwise it's going to just keep going. So as you can see, you can put any information in using voice to text. Very simple ways to use that. The other thing you can do in your contacts is I will just cancel that, go back to my contacts, and we have created in Handheld Contact a favorites list. And I'll show you that after I show you how to attach somebody. You see the star in the upper left-hand corner. If you click that, this person, Jesse, will now be added to my favorites list. So just as you have in your iPhone, you have your favorites list, we now have a favorites list here as well. So you can go through and you can quickly call somebody that you have lots of contact with. You can find them instantly. So there's Jesse that we just added a few seconds ago. Now let's go back to Alice. So with Alice, there's any histories that you have, you can always take a look at. Notes, details, as well as your activities. Next, we will look at the calendar. There's multiple views in Handheld Contact. You have your month view, week view, day view, and list view. I prefer the month view because I can click on any day and see what I have scheduled on that day. So there's a couple of things on the calendar that are interesting. Right from here, I can clear a meeting, and then I can also schedule a follow-up. And that happens instantly. And the nice thing is I can schedule follow-up with any other ACT users back at the office and with multiple contacts as well. And here was my follow-up. I won't put any details in now, but you saw how voice to text worked on that. The other thing I can do is when I click on Alice, if I'm running late for a meeting and I need to email her or call her or find out where she lives in terms of a mapping, I just click on Alice and I'm right at her contact. I don't have to go back, find her in my contacts, and then go back to my activities again. Now let's take a look at searches. Searches is something we added. We had the last two things, the search and imports. We've had a lot of requests for these. The searches is, okay, I'm in a certain area, or I get a notification, and I want to send an email blast out to a group of people. So what we created was a search button, so you can click on the search and you can name it. I'll redo the search I just have in here already, but just show you how it works. I click name it Ontario, and I'll put in here, I've got to choose another name. And I'm describing it. Special rates. Now, I have 992 contacts. So if I click on the plus button under filters, I can filter down 10 levels. So if I will choose a field here, and again, it will display any field or custom field that I have. I will choose state or province. And then the value, if it's drop down menu, it also shows up here. In this case, there's no drop-down menu, so I will just choose Ontario. I hit done, and I save that search, and I have 76 contacts in that search. So I will hit save. And now, if I want to send a quick email out to them, I just click in the upper right-hand corner, and that prepares my email. I'll just put test 2, and then you can put in whatever you want there. And now, when I click my send button in the upper right-hand corner, this captures it to history, and as you can see, all the contacts are in BCC so that everybody's email is private, and it will write a history to each of these contacts that I've sent the email, and the body of the email as well. I will hit the cancel button, and then I'll delete the draft, and I'll go back to my main screen. So the last thing I want to show you is importing contacts. We had the request, I'm at a show and I'm taking pictures with my card readers of business cards. How do I get them into Handheld Contact and then into Act? We've created a feature button. First of all, I'll show you the cam card, and I will delete this contact record here. I'll delete that card, and then I'll take a picture of it again to show you how it works. There we go. And I will save that. And now I have Rita as part of my contacts. So if I go back to Handheld Contact and I go to import, there's Rita at the top of the list. As you can see, there's a lot of contacts in there, so I can filter them. I had a show, I only want to see what I imported today. So those are the contacts I've imported today. I can choose Rita, next, and import complete. I've added her to my Handheld Contact, which then syncs back to the ACT database. So it's something that we had major demand for, and we're happy to say with the latest release we've added the import, favorites, and searches features to our device. So thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, please go to www.handheldcontact.com or email support at sales@handheldcontact.com. Thank you very much. Have a great day.